Yasis, and welcome to the first online virtual Greek Orthodox festival at the Saint Synargery Church. I was very touched and moved when Father asked me to be a part of this festivity. It is a special time in our country and in our lives. I hope everyone is doing well, and this is the next best thing to actually being there. My name is Jonathan Exaros, and I had the privilege of being at the festival last year to do a book signing at the church for a book that I had written about my ancestors who grew up in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and immigrated from Greece in the early 1900s. I was very close to my grandfather, and he grew up there in Marlborough, and his parents were basically instrumental in helping to found the church, along with all the other Greek residents in that area. He traveled back to Greece as a young 11-year-old with his family and witnessed the double murder of his father and his grandfather. And I always found this story to be fascinating to me, growing up as a child and being as close to my grandfather, Plato, as I was. And I wrote a book about it. And I wrote a book about the life of his parents and their immigration to this country, how they came first to Manchester, New Hampshire, and then finally settled in Marlborough and built the church, and then went back to Greece where this tragedy took place, and then came back to America to make a success out of their lives. This story that I wrote is not just a story about those murders, but it's about the immigration process itself and what Greeks did in the early 20th century in order to come to this country, and why they came to this country, and where they settled, and how they did that. The book is also about that tragedy, but more importantly about the survival after the tragedy and how these people survived and went on to becoming successes in their lives. It is a book that I feel that anybody can pick up and read, especially those of us who are from that area. I've only been to the church a few times, a couple times as a child, and then for the book signing. It holds a deep meaning to me and a place in my heart because of the fact that this is where my roots are. And Father asked me to read a little excerpt from my book for you today. So the book again is called A Village Murder. And you can, by the way, you can find this on Amazon. You can find it on Barnes & Noble, Google Play, iTunes, and it also comes in Kindle format. So I'm just going to read a little bit today, just for a couple minutes. It's on chapter 3, Letters from Greece, and you can see I also have plenty of pictures of my ancestors in here too that I'm sure everyone can kind of relate to as you dig up your own family photos, like the one I have in the back here of my great-great-grandfather in the back there. This particular chapter is about the immigration after my great-grandmother Calliope immigrated here, then my great-grandfather Alexander came, and then they met here, or it was already prearranged for them to be married ahead of time. About a month before Calliope immigrated to the United States, Alexander Exarchopoulos joined the masses of Greek immigrants who would come to America to work the factories, send money home to their families, and start families of their own. Alexander was the second oldest sibling of 4 boys and 2 girls. He was thin, fair-skinned, and stood about 6 feet tall. He had a strong chin and held his posture more like the son of an aristocrat than that of a wealthy farmer. He was raised with a strong sense of obligation to his family and placed the importance of honor above all other virtues. He gladly took on the challenge of traveling to America to make his fortune and to help his family prosper. Alexander arrived on Ellis Island on November 6, 1911 on the SS Argentina and made his way to Manchester, New Hampshire, where he settled in with other Greek immigrants. He traveled to the United States with a few friends, so he wasn't alone on this journey. However, Alexander was just 17 years old. The amazing thing about my research, when I looked up everything there was to know about my ancestors, was the age that they came to America. His wife, Calliope, who came a little bit before him, she and her girlfriend were just 14 years old, put on a ship and sent over here to America to make their way. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that today? Putting your 14-year-old on a plane and just shipping them to another country to live and to make their own way. Anyway, again, it's been an honor to be a part of this festival. I wish everyone the best of love and safety and health. We have some tough times to go through, but we will get through this together.